And so, for us it is important in the beginning to shed some light on really what is Islam. Because there is this tendency to think that Islam is connected to the Middle East, or it's a small group of people who is out planning to destroy the world, or conspiring to do something. But actually, right now, in a recent census poll that was taken in Egypt, in a special World Institute which connected with Al-Azhar University, which is a very famous university in the Middle East, they have now come to the point where their understanding is that Muslims make up about 23.1% of the Earth's population. There are over 70 million Muslims even in China itself. There are millions of Muslims in Europe, and as we know from the Bosnian situation. And according to our traditions, when we are talking about Islam, we are talking about monotheism. We are actually talking about a relationship with the Creator, where the person makes their devotion directly to the Creator, without any intermediary, without using the sun, without using idols, without worshiping through people. The human being goes directly to the Great Spirit. And so within our teachings, there is a verse in the Quran itself that actually tells us, and in Arabic goes like this: وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. That we have sent to every nation a messenger, that they would worship Allah, or God the Creator, and they would stay away from false deities. So based on that, coming from our traditions, we believe over 124,000 prophets and messengers came to every nation and every tribe. Prophets came to China, to Europe, to India, to Africa, here in the Americas, every nation. وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ. Every nation, a messenger has been sent. And in my travels, I've asked people about monotheism, and found, for instance, that on the Nile, that there's a book which is written according to a teacher named Ptahhotep, and it is considered to be one of the oldest writing forms, complete book forms that exist today. The teachings of Ptahhotep and papyrus. And in it you'll find clear trace of monotheism. Also in ancient Egypt there was a pharaoh named Akhenaten. His wife's name was Nefertiti. You probably heard that name before. And they say she was the first woman to be using cosmetics and feminine hygiene products and a number of things. But you'll find in the Psalms of Akhenaten, you will find clear monotheism. And it is said that Akhenaten himself had to do battle with the other people who believed in many different gods in ancient Egypt. And so the Psalms of Akhenaten, and in the Quran there's a surah, Hujurat, and you know, it is almost like you're reading Surah Al-Hujurat in some places. It talks about the tongues and the colors and the way that all people have been made and that there is one God. And so Akhenaten was really struggling to institute the belief in the power behind the sun, not the sun. In the Bantu religion, you will find some reference to the fact that N2 means the cosmic spirit. And so many of the Bantu people related directly to a great spirit, a universal spirit, and they looked actually toward oneness. In Mandarin Chinese, I went to China and I was speaking to the people, and they have a term they call Shang Ti. And Shang Ti means the creator, the main God, and the way they describe their concept of Shang Ti, meaning there was a main God and there's like a court. They said there's a court with other gods. It was almost the same way that the Meccans, the Quraysh, the pagan Meccans, were describing Allah at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. It was just similar to that. They had one universal God, and they had Lat and Uzza and Suwa, and they had many different other gods that they were also relating to. The Cherokee Nation. Recently I have come to understand that the Cherokee Nation, in this part of the world, the Iroquois as well, there is a strong tradition of monotheism in their teachings. And so what I am saying is that monotheism is not something which is particular to the Middle East. It is not something which is Semitic in our belief, but it is an understanding which relates to all peoples throughout the planet.